Hello, how are you? Happy Wellness Wednesday. Sorry, just making sure that we're on, and we are. So, happy Wellness Wednesday. I want to thank you so much for joining me. And I'm in two places today, the healing place and love the skin you're in. Today is a rant. It's absolutely a rant. I feel fired up and really connected into my mission. And I want to chat about that today. I want to chat about you and where you're at. You know, in the last couple of weeks, I lost someone so special. Someone who inspired me. If you were on my email list, you've already read about her. If you're not on my email list, you might want to get on there because there's some great stuff coming. Um, and her name was Jean Gibb. She was my mother-in-law, and she was a beautiful soul. She passed at 93 years old. Up until 2 weeks before her passing, she was still doing planks and down dogs. And I had the gift of teaching her yoga for 15 years, teaching her meditation. And, today was my very first class without her. And, you know, even though it was difficult, I feel so inspired and fired up because I got to witness, and the students in my class and people in community got to witness a woman who consistently showed up for herself, small little steps at a time. She did consistent yoga. She gardened. She did her own wood. She used her body. She moved her body. She she let go of cross-country skiing at 92. And, my question is to you, what do you want your life to look like? If you are an active person and you're always active and you're, out there living your life and you have great mobility, I'm not talking to you. You already know what I'm saying because you're living it. I'm talking to you if you're thinking about, I should do this. I'm not moving enough. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but one day you're going to wake up and something's going to happen and you're not going to be able to move. And you're going to go into a situation where you don't have the strength to be in it necessarily, to get yourself up. For example, hip replacement, shoulder injury, knee replacement. I'm just so passionate about helping women understand, the power of regular movement, of strength work, of managing our stress, looking at calm the mind tools and a positive mindset, because I've seen this in action. I witnessed it. And like I said in my email, I can only aspire to be like that when I grow up. But again, what are you doing? How are you moving? Are you building strength? Are you maintaining the strength you have? Are you working on stress management? Are you, calming your mind on a regular basis, trying to balance your nervous system? Because that right there is just a breeding ground for disease. And where's your mindset? You know, an aging body is such an interesting thing that I'm witnessing as my own body is aging. And, you know, aches and pains and stiffness is something that I experience every single day. But I don't stay there. I know that I can move and feel better because motion is lotion, right? I can feel better just by adding in some movement, getting some blood flowing. And not only do I move better, but I feel better mentally. My mind is calmer because I'm worth it. You know, so if this is something that has been on your to-do list and on your to-do list, and every year you put it to your to-do list, when are you drawing a line in the sand that says now is the time? Because if it's always tomorrow, tomorrow never comes. And you know, it might sound like, okay, Sherry, you're being a bit harsh today. But I am just so moved, you know, and feeling so driven to really get that message out. Because you can have the life that you want. You can. You can be moving and more mobile than you are right now. There might be some limiting factors. Absolutely. There might be some limiting factors. For sure. Doesn't mean you can't build strength where you're at working with the body that you have. It doesn't mean you can't work on calming your nervous system, on bringing balance into your nervous system. You know, learning stress management tools, but not just learning them, consistently using them. I just did a lifestyle coaching session on Monday with a group, and, you know, we talked about that, right? The consistency of showing up. In the last 2 weeks in my life, I lost my mother-in-law, and the following Monday, my mom had a complete left breast mastectomy for breast cancer. That was a heck of a 2 weeks, and it's not over, right? We're in grief. My mom is doing really well. I'm super excited about that, right? And hoping it continues to go just as well. But all the tools that I've learned over the years, that I teach my students, that I do on a consistent basis, help me to go through that, still taking care of myself, giving myself what I needed when I needed it, the knowledge to know that I needed to eat good, healthy food, that I needed to move, that I needed to do some meditation, I needed to have some mind calming time. When I did it in the day, switched just because of where I was at my, you know, at my sister's and their morning, and, you know, switched to evening for me and before bed, and but it still happened. And because of that, I really felt that I could show up as my best self for my mom during her time, for my sister, for my husband, for our children, grandchildren. And that really showed me, you know, the power of that consistent work. and how it plays out at times that you really, really need it. If you don't know it, the brain is not going to go there. You're not going to see it. If you've practiced it once, okay, it's not one and done. It's time after time after time after time. Is that going to make you a little uncomfortable? Absolutely, because it's going to be a change. But after a while, it's going to become a routine. It'll become a habit. And then when you got to dig deep and you really need it, it's going to be there for you. And the situation looks different. Your perspective is different, and you don't lose yourself in it. You know, we're at a challenging time in our lives. We have aging parents, grandchildren, children maybe post-secondary, right? It's a challenging time. There's a lot asked of us. Plus, you know, a lot of us are still working full time, and we got all that going on. But my question to you is, when is it going to be time? Because life happens. Some you know about, some it's scheduled, and some just happens. Like in the loss of my mother-in-law. Are you ready? Do you have the tools in the toolbox? I just think this is so important. I so want that for you. Because we all know life happens. My rant is complete. I want to thank you so much for joining me. So what do you do next? Well, you decide what's going to be that priority. Take one thing at a time. One thing at a time. If you need to get more movement in, that's where you start. You need help? Reach out. You can go on my YouTube channel. I've got lots of little movement videos in there. Join my email list if you're not on it. We're going to have some stuff coming through on that in the next couple of weeks. Right? Get those tips that are happening every week, every Thursday or Friday. I send my nurture email. Come join us at the Healing Place Community Studio. This is a place where we experience balanced programming. We have community. You know, I offer live classes, pre-recorded classes. There's something for everyone. And you start with the body you have in this very moment. Oh, thanks, Laura. Right? Start small. Start with one thing. Reach out to me. Tell me what it is. I'd love to hear. And if I can help you in any way, right? That is my mission. And please, don't wait for a crisis in your life. Get started now. Treat yourself with the love and respect you deserve. You are worth it. Lots of love. Lots of love. And I will see you next week.